Hey guys, Victor here with kind of a random thought, kind of a follow-up to my last video where I talked about the various properties I would like to see made into live-action films and how Hollywood would screw them up. Now, having done that and laid all my desires bare for scrutiny, I'm going to go ahead and piss on someone else's cornflakes. Wonder Woman. A lot of people want to see a Wonder Woman movie made, and I can understand why. She is the big three of DC's superheroes, along with Superman and Batman. It would seem like she's been gypped out of a movie. But she hasn't. First of all, I mean, yeah, you do not want to see this film made. As much as it would be great to see a Wonder Woman movie, I don't think it's going to happen, at least not in any reasonable time frame. I don't speak in absolutes for the most part. Anyway, but yeah, besides all the reasons already stated with Hollywood's inability to do females and Hollywood's tendency to meddle and all the various problems, there's stuff you just can't blame Hollywood for here. On the general level, Wonder Woman is too big. Superman was already made in a time, you know, the first Superman movie was made in a time when there was the potential for a more simplified kind of hero, and where just the novelty of seeing someone fly was enough to put people in the seats. With Wonder Woman, she means too much. She is a female Superman, basically. And, you know, you have comic book fans who want to see it done right. You have feminists of various sorts who have taken her on as a bit of a symbol. She means something to some people. And if you put that in Hollywood's hands, even Hollywood in general isn't that stupid. You know, you'd have so many people all basically pointing a gun at your head saying, "Do this right!" that no one wants to touch this. No one, I even think, is actually seriously considering it right now. And this is as it should be. Yeah, it means too much to many people. On a more personal level, I guess, is that a lot of writers and designers and directors also realize the problems with the character herself. She would not make a good movie. She has all the problems that I feel Superman has in terms of her character being too powerful, too nice, too uninteresting. But she has it worse. First of all, Superman has good enemies. Even though they never made much use of them in the books, or in the movies. You know, Lex Luthor, you know, a genius. He's willing to take on a god. He's kind of amazing in his own right. You have Brainiac, you have Metallo, you have all sorts of people. But with Wonder Woman, let's see, you have a woman in cat pajamas, or in later incarnations, a were-cheetah. You have a giant woman who basically lives only because Superwoman, or Wonder Woman, you see the problem, hasn't decided to actually fly straight through her like a bullet yet. And you have a generic sorceress. Cersei? Yeah. That's her name, no one cares. They are all very pointless. Ares would be the guy you'd go to for a villain, but they all suck. The costume just, I wouldn't want to be the designer who has to come up with the Wonder Woman movie costume. You'd be trying to please the fans by having it look right and normal, and you'd want to please the people with some sense of aesthetics. That costume is terrible. It's a strapless bathing suit. It would barely function as a bathing suit. It certainly wouldn't function as something you would go out and beat people up in. So they'd have to change the costume. That would piss off the fanboys. They'd have to figure out a way to make it look identifiable, even though there is no way. So yeah, there's that problem. I'm looking, of course, at my outline. Enemy sucks. Supporting cast sucks. She has Etta Candy, whose joke originally was that she just was really obscenely fat. That's a great thing for a modern movie. Oh, and Steve Trevor. Steve Trevor was basically meant to be the sort of Lois Lane to Wonder Woman, and he has never really worked. The one time that Steve Trevor has been worth paying attention to, the one time he had his one shining moment in all of fiction, was in the Justice League episode, The Savage Time. He was awesome there. But that's it. And they can't adapt that to a film unless they change the entire focus to somehow fit that. So, supporting cast, nothing to work with. And then there's Wonder Woman as a character. I said she was, it's all the problems of Superman, but Superman had a relatively, he had an epic, actually, story. They can't get her story straight in the comics. They keep retconning it because it never sounds right. It always sounds stupid and silly. Her origin story is vague, but it's necessary. See, Wonder Woman is only interesting when she's a fish out of water. And otherwise, so you need her origin to start her off. So yeah, and her origin is stupid at best and nonsensical at worst. As for her motives, those are also unclear. In some cases, it's like to bring peace to man's world. I don't think anyone's going to buy that a woman who is raised by a Swiss warrior society, for all intents and purposes, with running on ancient Greek values, flying around and beating people up in a strapless bathing suit, I don't think anyone's going to buy that anymore. So why would she be here fighting crime? Who knows? So, yeah, that wouldn't work either. Basically, there is nothing there is nothing to pull from. There are no epic Wonder Woman stories. You can name a few if you're a comic book fan off your head with Superman and Batman, but she has got nothing. So there's nothing to pull from, nothing that can work, nothing that meshes, and no one who would be happy with the end result. Except for if they just went really stupid, went the Catwoman route, and just surrendered to the idea of a woman running around in a skimpy outfit fighting crime. So if that's what you want, but otherwise, yeah, abandon all hope of a Wonder Woman movie in general, but specifically a good Wonder Woman movie. Why am I doing this video? Can't imagine. I don't know why I need to extinguish hope. It just feels right. Anyway, this has been Victor with a random rant. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Oh, and I forgot to even mention the straight-to-DVD Wonder Woman movie, but yeah, it was unmemorable, and Wendy was the least memorable aspect of it. Even animated, even with it being aimed at comic book fans, the story and characters were unconvincing and contrived, the message preachy and outdated, and even being voiced by Captain Mal, Steve Trevor was still boring as hell. So I can't call this a successful test run for a live-action movie, despite what some have argued.